Alright, welcome back to Rob's Garage Woodworking. Today we're going to talk a little bit about HDMI cables. Alright, HDMI stands for High Definition Multimedia Interface. It's in all your new receivers and DVD players and home theater systems, your new LCD and LED TVs. And you'll notice there's quite a difference in price. Now I did a quick comparison on Future Shop. So for a 5-foot cable, 1.5 meters, 5 feet, the price varied from $9 to $99. Now, you might be wondering, well, what's the big difference? Well, there could be a couple of differences, and we'll talk briefly about those. Obviously, length. The longer the wire, the more it's going to cost you. The material, the type of wire it is, usually everything's copper. I don't know, I've never really run across any other type of wire when it comes to audio components. And then you could talk about the gold plating. Say, for example, some of these, here's the end of an HDMI cable, and sometimes they talk about gold plating. And the gold plating is, it doesn't corrode, so it's there to provide a better contact for longer. That's the nice thing about gold, it doesn't corrode. So, the problem is, though, inside where the contacts are made, this is actually just like a ground part of the case, and then the inside is where all your contacts are made. So in there, that won't be gold plated, that will just be copper on copper. So don't bother with the gold plating. And the quality of the shielding, okay, inside here it could have like a braided shielding. You can actually improve that shielding, and it could be thicker, better shielding, covers more of the wire, and okay, that might make a difference. But a lot of times they'll go in, you'll talk to the people, and they'll say, well, you know, this one's got a better bandwidth. Well, what is bandwidth? Bandwidth is basically the amount of space that you have to send your signal. So we'll compare it to, say, for example, a highway. If you want to have a highway and you want to move a lot of cars down this highway, you'll have to have a lot of lanes, right? Because if you just have a couple of lanes and you've got a ton of cars, it slows the traffic right down to a crawl, sometimes stops. So the greater bandwidth equals more lanes in your highway, right? So you need a larger highway. The only way to get a larger highway and this sort of thing is to go to a thicker wire. Now you're limited, and this is where it gets crazy. You're limited here with your connector itself. So the little tiny contacts here in your connector, that's your weakest link. So no matter how thick this wire is, this is the spot that slows it down. This is the stoplight that somebody planted right in the middle of the highway, okay? A toll booth if you're in the States, you know. So that's what slows everything down. So that's your weakest point. So the rest of the wire is really unimportant if you're using this HDMI connector, because you're limited to that gateway, basically. Alright? So here's the truth. So if you look at the two wires, and you look at your $100 wire and you look at your $10 wire, well, what's the difference, really, besides maybe better shielding? Now, the thing is, this is HDMI, High Definition Multimedia Interface. It's a digital cable. You're sending ones and zeros down it. So they are less prone to interference and less prone to signal degradation. So you can get away with a cheap cable because you're going to get the same amount of ones and zeros through it, and they're not going to degrade. You know, you're not going to have a bad signal. So there it is in a nutshell. Don't spend the extra money and get the expensive one, because there's really no difference. And you know, if you want to try it, if you feel safer, then go ahead and buy it. But really, I've worked in the electronics industry. I've worked in electronics sales, and if you can upsell from this $5 one, I got this at a liquidation place for $5, so even, you know, half the price of from a store, a regular store. If you can get this one for $5, you know, the salesman's not getting much money off of it. But if you can sell the same $5 cable for $100, salesman stands to make a lot of money, $20 to $50 possibly, depending on his bonus structure. So there you go. That's the difference. So yeah, I would stick to the cheap ones. So there you go. There's the truth about HDMI. I hope it helps you out a little bit, and I just want to take this opportunity to say, Merry Christmas and have a Happy New Year to all my watchers out there, and thanks for watching.